You're listening to 5-episode thriller. Dare to like this episode and subscribe if you hunger for more. Now, let the shadows begin to stir. Title: Who is behind you on the murder road? Episode 5: The Reflection Room. Home wasn't what they remembered. April and Olivia drove through their neighborhood in silence, but everything looked off-kilter. The street signs had unfamiliar names. The trees leaned in too closely. The houses had all their windows drawn and front doors cracked open, like they were waiting for something or someone to return. "What if we never really left?" Olivia murmured. April gripped the steering wheel. "We did. We had to." They parked in front of their house. The lights were on inside. Neither of them had turned them on. Inside, everything was just as they left it. April's mug on the counter, Olivia's shoes by the door, their wedding photo on the mantel. Except the photo had changed. Olivia was smiling. April was missing. And in her place was the preacher. April stared at it, mouth dry. "This isn't right." Olivia touched her shoulder. "Maybe it's not our house." A creaking noise upstairs. They moved together, side by side, into the hallway. The stairs led to a door that hadn't been there before. Wooden, black iron handle. A glass panel in the center, too dark to see through. Engraved in the frame were words in looping cursive. The Reflection Room. April reached for the handle. "Wait," Olivia said. "What if it's another trap?" April shook her head. "We chose this. We ended it. If anything's left, it's what we brought with us." She opened the door. The room was enormous, larger than the house could contain. Walls covered entirely in mirrors. Dozens, hundreds. Each one showed a version of them. One reflected April and Olivia standing victorious on the edge of the Black Ocean. Another, April alone, her hands covered in blood. Another, Olivia wandering the roadside, screaming for help, never finding it. The preacher's voice echoed. "This is where endings settle. Not in the road, in the truth of what's been left behind." He appeared in one mirror, then another, then all of them. Olivia stepped forward. "We're not afraid of you anymore." "No, but are you afraid of what you were willing to become to survive me?" The mirrors cracked. 1,000 Aprils stared at themselves, some crying, some screaming, some silent. One of them whispered, "You left her behind." April flinched. "I didn't. But you thought about it." "Yes," she said. Her voice was hoarse. "But I didn't." Another April. "You wanted the road to end more than you wanted her. I fought for her. You fought for yourself." The mirrors rattled. Olivia stepped beside her. "It doesn't matter what those versions say. I know what you did. You saved me." April turned. "But I could have left you, and you didn't. That's who you are." All the mirrors darkened, except one. It showed the two of them, standing in this very room, hand in hand, real, alive. The preacher appeared behind the glass. He looked small. "You can't erase it," he said. "We're not trying to," April replied. "We're remembering it the right way." The mirror shattered, and the room collapsed. They were in their house again. Everything was quiet, real. The front door stood open. Morning sunlight poured through. Outside, birds sang. No blood, no fog, no road. Just the life they had chosen to return to. "Do you think it's really over?" Olivia asked. April nodded slowly. "I think we made it out of the story." They stepped outside together. The world waited. The world was quiet. For 3 days, April and Olivia stayed close to home. They didn't speak much about what had happened. Not because they were afraid, but because words felt too small. They cooked. They read. They tried to laugh. But the shadows stretched longer at night, and something still watched. On the morning of the 4th day, April found a note on the windshield of their car, written in sharp black ink, "You still owe the road." She showed it to Olivia without a word. Olivia stared at it, her hands trembling slightly, then folded it in half and dropped it in the fireplace. The flames didn't burn it. They watched it curl, blacken, and then reappear in the mailbox the next day. That night, Olivia dreamed of the woman again. Not Marrow. Not the crying woman on the roadside. Someone else. A girl, maybe 17. Torn jeans. Hollow eyes. She stood on the double yellow line. And behind her, headlights. Olivia jolted awake, gasping. April was already sitting at the edge of the bed, staring out the window. "The road didn't end," she said softly. "No," Olivia whispered. "It just let us off early." They didn't speak about it again until the night the car door opened on its own. April heard the click from the kitchen, rushed out, found the passenger side wide open, interior lights glowing. A single drop of blood on the seat. The preacher's voice came faintly, not from the road, not from the house, but from the car. Who sits beside you matters. They packed that night, not to run, not to escape, but to finish what they started. We go back, April said. One more time, together, on our terms. Olivia nodded. We leave the door locked this time. They drove as the sun set, retracing the way they had come. The familiar hills and turns returned to path slower now, softer. For a moment, they thought maybe the road was gone. But they knew better. It waited for them. It always would. At 2:13 a.m., the fog returned. Thick, inevitable. The road narrowed. Ahead, a woman stood, crying, waving. This time, April didn't slow down. This time, she drove past. But in the rearview mirror, the woman didn't disappear. She got in, without opening the door. The car didn't slow. Neither April nor Olivia turned around. I thought we said... Olivia began. She didn't ask this time, April interrupted. She knew where she was going. They looked in the mirror. She sat in the back seat, silent, watching, not bleeding, not begging, just waiting. The road twisted again, and then it opened. A vast black horizon, familiar and endless. April whispered, "It's the real road, the first one." Olivia reached for her hand. "We end it this time." They stopped the car. The woman in the back seat leaned forward. "You owe the road," she said softly, "but not with blood, with memory." "What does that mean?" Olivia asked. "It means you carry it. You remember. You tell them not to stop, not to help, not to open the door, because once they do, the story begins again." April nodded slowly. "We carry it, but we don't drive it anymore." She took the keys from the ignition and stepped out. Olivia followed. Together, they walked away. Behind them, the car idled for a moment, then turned off. The fog lifted. The road was still there, but it no longer owned them. Now, some nights they sit in the backyard and talk about it. Not with fear, not with regret, just honesty. They tell people, don't pick up strangers. Don't drive dark roads alone. And if you see headlights behind you, just keep going. Don't look back. Because the story's still out there, still waiting for the next car. If this tale left you uneasy, give it a like. Share it with someone brave enough to listen alone. And subscribe to 5-episode Thriller. Your next nightmare is creeping closer.